A most pleasant good afternoon to you all. Welcome back to the Delaware Hockey Network, brought to you by the law office of Heather A. Long. We are live from Philadelphia's class of 1923 arena for the second half of a weekend set between the Drexel Dragons ACHA Men's Division I team and the Mountaineers of West Virginia University. The Dragons on an absolute tear right out the gate to start their 2025-26 season, posting a 10-2 win over the Mountaineers last night. A look back at how they got there. Defensive zone turnovers were the Achilles heel of the Mountaineers in the early stages of the game, as Evan Mudrick, looming close to home, put away not one but two quick goals on A.J. Golden in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. He had two, and so too did Captain Matt Harris, to lead the Dragons in their 10-2 victory. The final Drexel goal of the night, the first of freshman forward Latham Hutchinson, who spent his high school years playing just down the road at Premier Orthopedics Iceworks as part of Stefan Charbonneau's Garnet Valley Jaguars team. A big contributor there, a big contributor as well here for the Dragons in his debut in off-white, blue, and gold, putting a bow on a 10-2 win for the Drexel side. Big days as well for Anton Kazitsky and Ryan Sambuco, both logging 1 goal and 3 assists in the Dragons' victory last night. A quick look at the remainder of the broadcast schedule for Drexel Dragons Men's Division I hockey on the Delaware Hockey Network this season. October 11th versus Temple, October 25th versus Villanova, November 15th versus William Patterson, and January 23rd versus the College of New Jersey. You can watch all of those games right here on the Delaware Hockey Network, and we are glad to have you with us once again here on the DHN for this mid-afternoon rematch between the Mountaineers and the Dragons. Ryan Nocerino saving 28 of 30 shots in victory for Drexel. He gets the day off. Jared Treat will make his first start between the pipes for the Dragons this season. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups when we come back on the other side of this quick timeout. This is the Delaware Hockey Network, and it's all brought to you by the law office of Heather A. Long.
Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com. Broadcast to social, print to digital, coast to coast, remote or on site, 412 Communications has the solution to bridge your team with your audience. Want to know more? Visit 412communications.com today.
Whether you're a competitive athlete or a weekend warrior, a sports medicine physician is an important player on your health team. With over 10 years of treating high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal bests and lead a healthier lifestyle. With clinics in Wilmington and Townsend, Delaware Sports Medicine is here for every athlete in your family. Visit desportsmed.com today to learn more. There's nothing all-American quite like a good old-fashioned barbecue. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky brings the most tender and flavorful pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken to the tri-state area and is sure to turn your next gathering into a truly all-American event. Visit Sid's on Ridge Road in Claymont, Delaware, or place your next catering order at sidsbbqandjerky.com.
Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. Welcome back to Class of 1923 Arena. It is just about go time. for the Dragons and the Mountaineers, Part 2. In this final weekend of September in the city of brotherly love. Inside the glass we go for today's starting lineups. Fans, once again, good afternoon and welcome to Class of 1923 Arena in the heart of downtown Philadelphia. This afternoon, the American Collegiate Hockey Association presents a men's Division I regular season game between the visiting Mountaineers of West Virginia University and your Drexel University Dragons. Let's meet today's starting lineups. For the visiting West Virginia Mountaineers, starting on defense, number 19, Nevin Davio, and number 7, Alec Poole. At left wing, number 27, Dylan Shea. At right wing, number 9, Tommy Woods. At center, number 56, Nicholas Bruno. And in goal, number 30, Zach Hall. And now let's meet the starting six for your Drexel University Dragons, coached by Tyler Wojcner. Starting in goal, number 30, Jared Treat. On defense, number 3, Ryan Lippy. And number 25, Hayden Surratt. At left wing, number 28, Anton Kazitsky. At right wing, number 2, Latham Hutchison. And starting at center, number 17, Evan Mudrick. The on-ice officials for this afternoon's game, as appointed by the American Collegiate Hockey Association, are referees Kyle Joseph and Mike Kaufman, and linespeople Josh Sklar and Bob Edwards. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please direct your attention to the American flag, located directly behind the Drexel goal, as we honor the United States of America and those who defend this nation with the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we're ready to rock and roll for Saturday hockey in Philadelphia. West Virginia traveling left to right from our vantage point in opening period play. Are clad in their away Navy kits, white numbers, gold trim all around. Drexel in their home off-whites, moving from right to left from our vantage point. Backstop by Jared Treat. Navy blue numbers, navy blue Drexel, written diagonally across the front of the sweater, and gold trim all around. First appearance of the season for West Virginia netminder Zach Hall. After A.J. Golden and Wyatt Slojas both gave up 5 in defeat yesterday, Drexel rolling through a 10-2 win over the Mountaineers to open their 2025-26 stand, and here they are on the offensive. right out the gate in game 2. Long shot from Hayden Surratt at center, ricocheted off the back glass. Mudrick looming net front, couldn't finish. A Hutchinson feed from the corner. Hutchinson throws the puck on. This is deflected up and over the glass by netminder Zach Hall, just 29 seconds into the game. And the first Drexel shot on goal today goes the way of the Mountaineers. Top line on for the Dragons now for this attacking zone faceoff. Matty Harris, flanked by the powerhouse tandem of Jimmy Jacobs and Ryan Sambuco. So the main producing line for the Dragons driving on deep in West Virginia territory as Harris is tied up by Jack Kakasi. This puck is recovered by Daniel Schmidt, worked up the right wing boards. He tried to feed it ahead to Mason Hartz, but that pass was intercepted. The shot from Sambuco was steered wide. Harris on the doorstep tried to finish, and freezing this is Zach Hall for the pause in play. So 3 rapid-fire Drexel shots in the first 59 seconds, maintaining the intensity from last night and trying to carry it over as long as they can into game 2. Harris down for the draw. This time across from Keone Bolte. And the Dragons will come back to the attacking zone. West Virginia guilty of an icing, 68 seconds into the first period. West Virginia cannot change on the icing. Drexel opts to keep the same 5 on. The Harris-Jacobs-Sambuco line with Burkon and Tiberio back at the blue line. Shot over the glass and out of play into that back netting. Good to take 4 seconds off the clock. We'll do it again. To the left of Zach Hall. This draw does go the Mountaineers' way, and it's pushed forward by Chris Henry up the left wing boards. He was outnumbered by a strong Drexel back check and was steered to that far wall before caroming the puck in below the goal. It ends up far side again, cleared out by Matty Harris just over the line. Sambuco picks this up just in front of his own bench. Icing is waved off. Jacobs pursues, centering feed. Harris shot from point blank range. Looked like Hall got a piece of it and directed it to the far corner. Nearing the 2-minute mark of the first period, Brady Doyle holds the left point. Cycled now to Baccarin. Piecemeal change for the Dragons as Jacobs remains down low. Nathan Steele coming on, working together with Baccarin. And we'll see Dylan Manchester as the other component of this third line for the Dragons this afternoon. Davio back deep in his own zone. Trying to hold the point was Mikolas. But linesperson Josh Sklar says that was offside. And the faceoff will come just above the West Virginia blue line with 17:42 to go in opening period play. And no score as yet from Philadelphia. Webb trying to muscle through traffic to no avail. Back the other direction came Manchester. Lippy tried to throw the puck in from the corner from an awkward angle. And there's the first goal of the game. Coming from downtown off the stick of Hayden Surratt. He's got his second of the year. And the Dragons 3:02 in are again first to light the lamp. Surratt opens fire. from center point, 3 minutes and 2 seconds into the contest. And Drexel take the early lead. We owe you particulars on that goal. Stand by. Drexel Dragons goal, his second of the season. Scored by number 25, Hayden Surratt. Assisted by number 10, Nathan Steele. And number 7, Pietro Baccarin. Time of the goal, 3 minutes, 2 seconds in the first period. Surratt second from Steele and Baccarin at 3:02. Stretch pass attempted by Shea. He couldn't connect with Bruno, but Bruno's hustle was enough to negate the icing. And back the other way, Chris Henry able to play the puck sent up ice by the Dragons. So no icing as we end up once again in the West Virginia zone. First penalty of the game, a cross check.
Doors closing.
4 minutes and 33 seconds in. And it's going to be against the Dragons, Santino Tiberio. Quick restart to play to the left of Jared Treat, who's yet to see a shot on goal. The Drexel penalty was assessed to number 26, Santino Tiberio. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes, 33 seconds in the first period. Tiberio, 2 for cross-checking at 4:33. Eisler, Steele, Doyle, and Mikolas, the quartet of penalty killers for the Dragons. And Bruno leads this rush back into Drexel territory as he circles behind the goal. To Barber, this comes at the right point. Across the line to Glamkowski. Back to Bruno. Cross slot pass. Nathan Steele got a piece of it. Woods couldn't handle the puck cleanly. Barber trying to hold the point. Good support from Hartz. Headman feed, crashing the net was Nicholas Bruno, but he couldn't get his way past Treat. He sealed off the ice level surface with the pad. So 3 for 3 in the save department is Jared Treat. As we work to the 6-minute mark of the opening period, Drexel with a 1-0 lead, thanks to Hayden Surratt's second goal of the season, helped by Steele and Baccarin at 3 minutes and 2 seconds in. Sokol left the puck to Barber. To Karen. Back it comes to Barber up high. Cross ice pass off the wall to Dylan Shea. This ricochets back into neutral territory. And the Mountaineers, with only a few seconds left on this power play, are forced back out to regroup. Karen tipped the puck in up the right wing boards off a feed through neutral ice. And the Dragons are back to full strength but pinned in their zone. A much more evenly matched start to this game compared to yesterday. 6 minutes, 45 seconds in. The zone time's been more or less equal. Here's Matty Harris to Jacobs. 2-on-3 this Drexel entry. Drop pass. Sambuco couldn't reel in the puck from the dot. He chased it down behind the net, trying to feed back to Jacobs, who had time and space to operate, but that pass was intercepted by Max Sokol momentarily. Sambuco again to Harris below the goal. He's pinned to the wall by Poole. This played up the right side. Lippy couldn't hold the zone. And Surratt comes back to his own blue line to try to build momentum in more of an earnest fashion. failed zone entry for the Dragons. Alec Poole to Woods up the right wing boards, and he carries the puck through neutral ice. Woods in a 1-on-3. He's got some help now from Webb. The shot from Woods coming in from the bottom of the right circle. Squared up for by Treat, who comes up with the easy save. Follow-up chance from Poole at the point was wide. Here's Harris leading a 3-on-2. Drop pass to Sambuco. Lost his stick. He was pinched to the wall. Sambuco shot after regaining his wares. Was just wide of the post after that centering feed. Long shot the other way. It came from Danny Schmidt. Holding for the pause is Jared Treat, and we've got a break in the action with 11:55 to go in the first period. Drexel with a 1-0 lead. If you've been injured on the job or in a car accident, you know just how challenging and overwhelming the recovery process can be, and that's why having a trusted and caring representative by your side is essential to help you navigate the complex world of workers' compensation and personal injury. The law office of Heather A. Long will guide you through every step of the process, from filing your claim to representing you in hearings and appeals. Schedule a free consultation today. Call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com. Eight and a half minutes in the books here from class of 1923 Arena. Centering pass attempted by Shea, trying to feed to Woods, was intercepted by Burkhan, and we've got a puck out of play. Restart will be to the right of Jared Treat, 5 for 5 between the pipes in his seasonal debut effort, after Ryan Nocerino saved 28 of 30 in victory for the Dragons on opening night. Nicholas trying to stretch the puck toward Hutchinson up the middle, who was double teamed, but it was tipped off the stick of West Virginia's Alec Poole in neutral territory, enough to negate the icing. Brackett trying to find space under an intensifying forecheck. The pressure lent by Anton Kazitsky, forcing the turnover. And Evan Mudrick, as we talked about yesterday, wearing number 17 this year, in lieu of the 20 that he wore last season. Getting play going from right to left again. A couple other number changes. Satoru Eto this year wearing 9 rather than 12 after the graduation of Barrett Genovese. Adam Lazine changed numbers last year from 24 to 5 with the graduation of Nick Castura. And this Mason Hart's shot from just inside the right dot goes into the glove of Jared Treat, who holds on for a break in the action as we near the midpoint of the opening period from class of 1923 Arena. First half of a doubleheader for us today on the Delaware Hockey Network. Coming up tonight, the Drexel Men's Division II team will host Delaware, both looking to rebound from defeats. The Lower Dragons team last night losing to St. Joseph's 8-2 at the Haverford Stadium, whereas Delaware is looking to rebound from a 3-2 defeat handed to them by Towson, just north of Baltimore. Stretch pass through the neutral zone, Lazine to Body. Body and Kikasi battle for the puck in the far corner. Kikasi works it free, but his clearing attempt is foiled by Ryan Lippy, protecting the point for the Dragons. Eisler looking for space, bodied into the corner boards by Schmidt. Puck loose in front, trying to swat it in from the top of the crease was Andrew Body. A long shot from point man Ryan Lippy will be covered up for a break in the action by Zach Hall. And play is halted with 9:16 to go in opening period action from Philly. Face off to Hall's left. goes Drexel's way. The net front one-timer from Burkhan goes over the glass and out. And you could tell he's frustrated with himself over that. Just too much loft on the puck. And out of play it sailed. Big guns back on for the Dragons. Jacobs pressed to the point by Webb. Tried to carom the puck in low toward Harris. And the Dragons will get another chance. This comes back in icing with 8:51 to go in the first period. So not the explosive start we saw from the Dragons last night by any stretch of the imagination, but they're generating chances in the attacking zone. They're limiting quality chances in their own zone, which while there are 6 shots against, there's yet to be an A-grade chance for the Mountaineers. Nearly one there off the stick of Zach Hawley, but he was met by a stick save from Jared Treat. Barber from behind his own goal. Flubbed the breakout pass under pressure. Jacobs recovers. He couldn't find Sambuco across the slot. This is shoveled by Webb out of neutral ice into the Drexel zone, and the Mountaineers will change. Woods foils the Drexel transition pass, and he skates right into a 1-on-4. Treat paddles the puck out of harm's way. It was held in by Davio at the point. Penalty coming up, and it will be against the Mountaineers.
Doors closing.
Go in the first period. The Drexel Dragons go on their first Delaware Sports Medicine power play of the afternoon. Learn more about Dr. Brad Blai's offerings at desportsmed.com. The West Virginia penalty was assessed to number 56, Nicholas Bruno. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 12 minutes, 5 seconds in the first period. Bruno 2 for hooking at 12:05. Surrett holding the line. Across this comes to Manchester. Making his Drexel debut. Shot was blocked from the top of the circle near side. Hart's out hustled by Surrett as the puck came trailing back into Drexel territory. And Surrett will start this out up the middle. Pass to his left on the accelerating Nathan Steele. Second power play wave. On for the Dragons. 65 seconds left with the man advantage. Hutchinson to center point. And Surrett. Back it comes to Manchester. Drop pass Surrett. Taking aim from 40 feet. Getting a piece of that was Hall to deflect the puck over the crossbar and into the back glass. Surrett winding up again off the post. But the putback is in. And the Dragons strike on the Delaware Sports Medicine power play to make this a 2-0 hockey game. Evan Mudrick's got a nose for the puck in low, and he finishes off the rebound to give his Dragons their second of the day. There it is again. Evan Mudrick potting his third of the year. And Surrett getting credit for the primary assist. Drexel Dragons power play goal. his third of the season, scored by number 17, Evan Mudrick. Assisted by number 25, Hayden Surratt. Time of the goal, 13 minutes, 17 seconds of the first period. Mudrick's third from Surratt at 13:17, a power play goal. Five and a half to go in the first period. Walking in with the backhand shot was Marcus Barber, denied by Treat, and he stops the rebound as well as we see it again. After Barber was denied, Nick Bruno took aim in the low slot. Jared Treat regathered his wares to come up with saves number 10 and 11. The strength of this Drexel team this weekend has been their ability to take advantage of holes left in the West Virginia defense. Their edge for the past couple seasons has been between the pipes. Chip shot from Lazine into the Hall glove, and he holds for a break and play. Make a truly all-American meal the centerpiece of your next team event or special occasion. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky in Claymont, Delaware. Just a half hour from Class of 1923 Arena. Can cater your next group event, offering pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken on a daily basis, along with a variety of sauces and sides sure to please any appetite. Visit Sid's at Suite C26 in the Tri-State Industrial Center on Ridge Road in Claymont. Open Monday through Saturday for takeaway lunch, or to place a catering order, call 302-439-4937 or visit sidsbbqandjerky.com. Great choice for your team dinner. You will most assuredly be the first star. 4:12 to go in the first period. 2-0 the score, advantage Drexel. Brackett worked the puck to Davio. Back it comes to Davio, shooting from the top of the right circle, and Treat steers the puck wide. Hartz tries to stutter step to get some space from Mudrick, but Mudrick wrestles the puck away and he works it over his own blue line. Cross ice feed to Hutchinson, taking a hard check from Alec Poole. Hutchinson stays with the puck, gets a shove behind after letting it go deep into the West Virginia zone. And the Dragons will work in some fresh legs as we get to the final 200 seconds of the first period. Play halted with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Net came dislodged behind Zach Hall. It was knocked off by a Mountaineer, so they're not entitled to a change. And Steele and Karen take the face-off to resume play to the left of Zach Hall, who's stopped right now 14 of 16 Drexel shots on net. He freezes here before Baccarin can make anything happen. And the face-off again will come to the left of the West Virginia cage with inside 3 minutes to go. Karen and Steele to do it again. A few ticks come off as the puck is directed toward Zach Hall, who freezes again. Pietro Baccarin leaves us now to the left side. The shot from Surratt. Caught the shoulder of Hall. Follow-up chance from Lippy. Was sticked out of harm's way. Lippy again taking aim from the left point. Another Hall save, his 15th of the afternoon, keeping this 2-0 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first period. Manchester driven into the corner boards near side by Schmidt. Keeps on ticking. He tried to cut through the slot but was taken off his feet and separated from the puck by Jack Kakasi. Baccarin couldn't center cleanly to Steele, who was marked in the mid slot by Schmidt. This turned back in off the backhand of Hayden Surratt, who chased the puck down to center to recover. Final 2 minutes of the first period upon us. From class of 1923 arena, no icing as this puck was tipped in neutral territory on its way from deep in the West Virginia zone. McLaughlin chases it down. Awkwardly angled shot, paddled away by Treat, but that enabled Keone Bolte to take aim from the slot as well. He was off his mark. Here's Sambuco one-on-one. Sambuco cutting to the slot. Shot from in close. Poked away by Zach Hall. Working the top of the crease. Follow-up chance came from the left point at Tiberio. It too handled cleanly. Sambuco from downtown. That was turned aside amid net front congestion. That shot blocked as well after his own rebound sailed right back to the point. Burkon from distance. The Harris redirect ends up in the glove of Zach Hall, and we've got a pause with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the first period as Hall stands his ground among that barrage of vulcanized rubber. Easily 3 or 4 shots sent his way in a span of about 15 seconds. Only a couple of them registered as on goal. But my oh my, Zach Hall doing all he can to keep his Mountaineers in this game. Minute 10 to go. Here in the first period, Benny Burkon got one through traffic from the point. Off the Harris feed, another Hall save. 1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute. And with a minute to go,
doors closing.
Ryan Sambuco takes the walk of shame. Ruled guilty of a trip at 19 minutes. In this opening period. So for the second time this afternoon, the Mountaineers are on the power play. Kakasi tried to shoot from 35 feet, but a Doyle stick check foiled that opportunity. Drexel penalty was assessed to number 29, Ryan Sambuco, 2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty, 19 minutes even in the first period. Sambuco, 2 for tripping at 19 minutes. Woods switches gears to try to pinch past Body. He gained the zone. Hartz, Woods. Bruno holding the point. Kakasi couldn't do anything with it, as stepping up to engage him was Body. Down to single digits in this first period. Glamkowski from the corner gave the puck away. This tied up. And the horn sounds to signal the end of period number 1. So that will do it for the first 20 minutes. And at the end of one period, the score, Drexel Dragons 2, West Virginia Mountaineers 0. We'll be back after the first intermission on the Delaware Hockey Network.
Whether you're a competitive athlete or a weekend warrior, a sports medicine physician is an important player on your health team. With over 10 years of treating high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal bests and lead a healthier lifestyle. With clinics in Wilmington and Townsend, Delaware Sports Medicine is here for every athlete in your family. Visit desportsmed.com today to learn more.
Recovery from an injury on the job or in a car accident can be overwhelming. The expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long can carefully explain your options and advocate for you through the process of claims, proceedings, and settlements. To schedule your free consultation today, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664 or visit injuryde.com.
There's nothing all-American quite like a good old-fashioned barbecue. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky brings the most tender and flavorful pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken to the tri-state area and is sure to turn your next gathering into a truly all-American event. Visit Sid's on Ridge Road in Claymont, Delaware, or place your next catering order at sidsbbqandjerky.com.
It's time for the second period. Let's head back upstairs to James Witherite.
This man right here, Hayden Surratt, the driving force in the first period for the Drexel Dragons, recording a goal and an assist. As the Dragons stand 2-0 in front through 20 minutes of play. There was the shot from center point off the Nathan Steele setup to open the scoring 3 minutes and 2 seconds into the contest. And then he followed up here with the initial shot that led to Evan Mudrick's rebound putback. To make it a 2-0 hockey game at the 13-17 mark of the first period. Dragons still down a man for the first minute of the second period, thanks to the Ryan Sambuco tripping minor at 19 minutes. Steele, Baccarin, Surratt, and Lippy, the quartet of penalty killers. Ryan Lippy, first-year Dragon, together with Surratt, launches this puck from deep in his own zone all the way back behind the West Virginia goal, where Jack Kakasi steadies. Kakasi up the right wall to Woods. Woods hassled by Jacobs in neutral ice, perseveres and gains the Drexel line. Here's Sambuco receiving the puck from Harris the other side as the Dragons return to full strength. Jacobs to Sambuco. Cross ice feed. Brady Doyle tried to throw the puck in from the left point, but that long distance attempt was broken up by Woods. Harris. Back it comes to Doyle. Long shot caught and held by Zach Hall for a pause. 84 seconds into the second period. Face-off coming to the right of Zach Hall. And this draw went the way of Ryan Sambuco initially, but the Mountaineers recover. McLaughlin tried to regain for the Mountaineers in his zone, but Jacobs took the puck away and set up Mikolas with a point shot that was waffle boarded down and away by Hall. This is sent clear by Max Sokol. Treat out of the crease, plays the puck to the far corner. Puck skitters loose in the low slot after it was thrown back in by McLaughlin. Cleared out by Harris to Jimmy Jacobs, dodging a check and staying on his feet, but he lost the puck after that pressure from Henry. Henry recovers after Barber failed to clear. McLaughlin to Bolte, who could not clear the zone. Barber walks this out. He tries to feed to McLaughlin just above the blue line, but the puck trails into Drexel territory, and Matty Harris was able to angle his way back to it. 2.5 minutes elapsed in second period play from class of 1923 arena. And a two-a-side scrum goes the way of the Dragons as Ben Burkon reaches in to extract a frozen puck. Sambuco leads a 2-on-2 up ice. Sambuco drop pass. Burkon trailing the play. Able to get stick on puck from the high slot. And it's caught and held by Zach Hall for a break in the action. Shots were amended during the intermission. 17-14 advantage Drexel. 2-2 so far in the second period. That second shot from Ben Burkon, more a desperation chance than anything to try to make it a 3-0 game, or at the least try to maintain attacking zone momentum, which the Dragons do retain after the attacking zone draw. Here the net is dislodged as Hall crossed over to the post and knocked the net off its moorings of his own volition. And the faceoff comes 44 feet nearer to the 412 Communications broadcast box as a result of that infraction. The shot from Tiberio at the right point was blocked. Burkon nearly regained the puck at center, but he was swarmed and overpowered by Zach Hawley. The 26s meet below the Drexel goal. Hawley pursuing the puck, met by Tiberio, who failed to clear. Here's Hartz dodging a check from Sambuco, rather from Anton Kazitsky. We haven't seen the 28 and the 29 out together, save for a couple power play shifts last night. A couple years ago, we saw those two together on the second line for this Drexel team, and man, did they put up some numbers working in tandem with each other. That being said, they put up some mighty numbers last night on separate lines, each accounting for a goal and 3 assists in Drexel's 10-2 drubbing of West Virginia. An offside against the Mountaineers will set up a face-off just above the Drexel line with 16:04 to go in second period play. Nathan Steele in his second year with this program drives the puck from blue line to blue line and then some off the draw. Steele plays the body on Hartz. Linesperson Josh Sklar had to hop out of the way there to avoid being collateral damage. Manchester angled to the far corner. Steele tried to offer puck support, but it was taken away at the goal line by Mason Hartz and cleared back to center. Lippy off the wall, Poole recovers. D-to-D pass sets up Davio throwing this puck up the right wing boards. And the breakout ends up with West Virginia setting up a 3-on-3, but Henry being stripped of the puck, and here come the Dragons the other direction. Surrett looking for a second goal from the top of the slot was denied by a Hall stick save. Follow-up chance from high in the zone again, steered wide by Hall. This puck is cleared by Cooper Brackett, and the Dragons reset in neutral ice. Steal off the feed from Baccarin. Pinned to the near dashers by Shea. Couldn't get a quality shot off. Doyle tries to keep the puck in low, but it's intercepted in the high slot by Barber. Woods circled below the goal. Tried to feed back to Barber, waiting at the right point, but that pass didn't have the angle it needed to stay onside. So the Mountaineers regroup. There, a hard shot from Nicholas Bruno from the far half wall, sticked away by Jared Treat for save number 15, denying Shea near side just a few seconds after. So 16 for 16 stands Jared Treat this afternoon as we work toward the 6-minute mark of the second period, and the Drexel Dragons leading 2-0 over the Mountaineers of West Virginia University. 4 more Drexel Men's Division I games on the schedule for us here on the Delaware Hockey Network this season, as that puck cleared the netting and went all the way into the upper concourse. A look at those games: October 11 versus Temple, October 25 versus Villanova, November 15 versus William Patterson, and January 23rd versus the College of New Jersey, all right here on the Delaware Hockey Network, brought to you by Heather A. Long as part of our expanded coverage of Drexel Dragons hockey this season. Admittedly, we weren't sure this summer what our coverage map was going to look like as a result of the changing landscape of the collegiate game in the first state, but as it turns out, in addition to Delaware Blue Hens ACHA coverage with their men's Division 1 and 2 teams and their women's ACHA team, same as it's been for the past 5 years now. The way the schedules panned out, the door was opened for more Drexel coverage, and we are happy to be here in Class of 1923 Arena, bringing you double the coverage of Drexel Dragons hockey that we saw last year. We'll be together for a total of 10 games between the men's Division 1 and 2 programs here in the heart of the city of brotherly love. Coming to 7 minutes in the second period. Breakout pass from Burkhan toward Harris was intercepted, poked away by Treat after the puck was thrown in by Sokol from close range. And now here's a 2-on-2 Drexel counterattack. It's onside. Sambuco tried to center to Jacobs, but that pass was broken up and a loose puck corralled by Bolte and cleared back to center. The re-entry is called offside. Modern media is everyone shouting for attention and no one hearing a thing. So how do you get your voice above the fray? 412 Communications has myriad solutions to build bridges between your brand and your clientele, your team and your fans, ranging from broadcast to social, print to digital, live streaming, audio and video production, and more. East Coast, West Coast, or anywhere in between, let's talk about how to get you noticed. Visit us at 412communications.com. Mudrick could not work the puck in low up the near wall. Hartz recovers for West Virginia. Brackett pulls back, leaving this to Barber. Mudrick intercepts the breakout pass. He couldn't hold the line, and a delayed offside is going to force Hutchinson to tag up before play can continue on. Another failed breakout, bodied down over the center stripe by Latham Hutchinson, and launched in behind Hall. Still can't get used to Evan Mudrick wearing number 17 this season, as opposed to his previous sweater number 20. The good news is we've still got 4.5 games to get it right. Lippy to Manchester. In the slot, Baccarin's shot was wide. The Mountaineers clear. It was Hartz who did so. Unable to corral the puck in neutral territory was Steele, but he recovers back in his own zone. Flubs the breakout pass attempt, though, as Woods held center point for the boys in blue. This is offside. And we're going to see it again right now. So here comes the pass back from Bruno toward the point. Just was off our monitor, but there was about 6 inches to a foot of daylight between the back edge of the blue line and the puck. And a penalty coming up. Against Drexel with 11:04 to go. In this second period. Shot from Bruno, caught and held by Treat. .127. Remaining on this penalty. And we'll get this recalibrated right now. So it was Lippy sent off. We didn't catch the signal. But in any case, the Dragons on their third penalty kill of the day. Kakasi off the feed from Bruno. Shot stick checked up into the glass. And it ricochets out of play. Slash coming. .10-17 into the second. Against Adam Lazine. So we're going to be 5-on-3 for the next 39 seconds. Drexel penalty assessed to number 5, Adam Lazine. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 10 minutes, 17 seconds in the second period. Lazine 2 for slashing at 10-17. Eight seconds off the clock after Jared Treat flashes the leather for save number 18. Shea across to Poole, stepping up. Shot through traffic, pad save by Treat. The iron triangle of Dragons on this kill, Kazitsky, Tiberio, and Burkon. And they come away from the 40 seconds of 5-on-3 action unscathed. Still a minute 15 to go on the Lazine slashing minor. And Nathan Steele joins those three on this PK. Barber to Shea. Pass up the left side, Poole. Slowed up by Orion Sambuco stick just above the blue line, and Sambuco recovers for the Dragons. 8.5 to go in the second period. Long clear up the left wall. Steadied by Hall and left for Shea. Icing waved off. Good hustle by Woods to outleg Tiberio to the path of the puck. But the Dragons do recover deep in their own end, and they clear again. Half a minute remaining in this Mountaineer man advantage. But they've not been able to do anything in the first 32 minutes of this game. Drexel with a 2-0 lead. Wide shot from Kakasi on the doorstep. Woods tried to put away the rebound off the backboards as Treat had sprawled out of position, but the second shot was off its mark too. And now the Dragons are back to full strength as Woods was hauled out of his shot lane by Tiberio coming in toward the cage. Kakasi launches it in from distance. Covering up for the pause is Jared Treat, and he hangs on again to bring play to a halt with 7.5 minutes to go in the second period, and his Drexel Dragons working with a 2-0 advantage. Jared Treat, my oh my. Not as flashy as No Sereno. Lets up a few more rebounds than No Sereno, but he's been good on his angles, and he's been awfully spry getting back into position to make the secondary saves when needed. Davio canceled out Kazitsky, trying to crash the West Virginia cage. Karen's clear will not be called back an icing. Linesperson Josh Sklar ruling that puck was tipped on its way up ice. If the name Josh Sklar is familiar, it should be, as he played for these Drexel Dragons back in his college days. Now staying in the game as an official and doing a fine job of it. Henry threw the stick, or rather threw the puck into the Drexel zone. It was played by a Drexel high stick. Negated when McLaughlin played on for the Mountaineers. Here a shot from the right half wall off the Danny Schmidt stick was saved by Treat. Surrett clears to Lippy. Lippy checked off the puck after gaining the West Virginia line, and with 6 minutes to go in the second period, and the Dragons up 2-0, they'll get some fresh legs on. Lazine pulls back after putting pressure on Schmidt. This is an icing. Whether you're a competitive athlete like these guys or a weekend warrior like me, a sports medicine physician is an important player on your health team. And with years of experience treating high school, collegiate, professional, and everyday athletes alike, Dr. Brad Bly of Delaware Sports Medicine is the specialist you need to achieve personal best and lead a healthier lifestyle. And with clinics in both Wilmington and Townsend, Delaware Sports Medicine is here for every athlete in your family. Learn more at desportsmed.com, including Dr. Bly's new membership program to help you achieve peak performance through a variety of offerings, wellness coaching, and more. Mikolas throws the puck off the backboards, picked up by Lazine. Back it comes to William Mikolas holding the right point. He tried to launch one in from distance, but it caught the stick of McLaughlin. 5 minutes to go in the second period of a 2-0 hockey game. Advantage. Drexel looking to complete the sweep over the Mountaineers on home ice. Dump and change for West Virginia, and Adam Lazine accelerates up the right wing board, stripped of the puck by Woods before he could get out of the zone. Further support lent by Shea to drive the puck in deep. He tried to kick one back to the top of the slot, where waiting was Nick Bruno, but he couldn't connect on that pass, and the Mountaineers have to set up in their own end. Cross ice pass to Shea, coming from Woods, trying to catch the Dragons in the midst of a change. That pass was connected, but a strong Drexel back check caught up in time to foil West Virginia's chances of getting on the board. Manchester, 4:12 to go. Shot from the dot. That shot was well wide. Only 4 shots on goal for Drexel here in the second period. 2-on-2, Woods centering pass. And Kyle Joseph signals a hook. Dylan Manchester called off for hooking. And back to the PK go the Dragons. Every Delaware and Drexel penalty kill of the season can be brought to you by, well, you. Learn more by emailing mjr412communications.com as sponsorship opportunities remain available through the 2025-26 DHN broadcast season. The Drexel penalty was assessed to number 12, Dylan Manchester. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 16 minutes, 2 seconds in the second period. Manchester 2 for hooking at 16:02. One-timer in the slot from Woods. Locked out by Jared Treat. Great puck movement in low. But Jared Treat standing tall for save 22. Kakasi holding the line. Looked shot From center point, Treat says no again. 3:31 remaining in the second period. If you're just joining us here on the Delaware Hockey Network, James Witherite joining you on the play-by-play, our videographer. And newly elevated to assistant producer, Trey Wright, bringing you all the action in pictures. Trey's been with us a long time here on the Delaware Hockey Network and elsewhere on the 412. Helping us with our horse racing coverage in New Jersey and New York through the summer months as well. And we are very lucky to have Trey Wright with us behind the scenes here on the 412. Solid videographer, has production ability. And here the first West Virginia goal of the game is batted in by Thomas Karen, scoring on the power play with 3 minutes and change to go in the second period, and the Drexel lead is cut in half. We see it again on the 412 Communications instant replay. Karen posting up right on the welcome mat, putting away the rebound of a Sokol shot. And we'll continue waxing poetic about Trey a little bit later on. Whether or not we'll get him to blush remains a different story. West Virginia goal, first of the season, scored by number 11, Thomas Karen. Assisted by number 15, Max Sokol, and number 92, Cooper Brackett. Time of the power play goal, 16 minutes, 56 seconds in the second period. Karen's first from Sokol and Brackett at 16:56, a power play goal. So special teams accounting for a goal aside. Mikolas lobs the puck in from center. And as it's gloved down by Zach Hall, we've got a pause and an opportunity for both teams to get some fresh legs on this class of 1923 arena ice. West Virginia has really turned it on here in the second period. That power play goal, of course, and in the shot department, they have led Drexel 12-5 in this middle frame. Burkhan clears from traffic. We've entered the penultimate minute of the second period. Davio could not find Woods on the breakout. Burkhan, from just in front of the scorer's box, pushes the puck back behind the West Virginia goal. Hutchinson plays the body on Davio. That enables Kazitsky to recover. Kazitsky, Mudrick, up the right boards. Unable to hold the point was Tiberio. He takes a check after the puck sailed over the line. Tiberio tied up with Shea, and the lines people come barreling in to separate these two right in front of the And a last play face-off right in front of the Drexel bench. Enabling the action to resume. West Virginia penalty assessed to number 27, Dylan Shea. Drexel penalty assessed to number 26, Santino Tiberio. Both guys 2 minutes for roughing at 18:30 in the second period. There is 1 minute remaining in the second period. Recapping, Shea and Tiberio, 2 each for roughing at 18:30. So 4-on-4 here in the home stretch of the second. Steele gains center. He chips the puck off the near glass. He tried to chase it down on the near corner, but Jack Kakasi took it away for the Mountaineers. Here's Kakasi, hacked at up ice by Baccarin. Still maintained control of the puck before advancing it to Hartz. Jacobs strips the puck. Final 21. Jacobs trailed by Baccarin. The backhand shot was saved easily by Hall. This comes back to Doyle, working the top of the right circle. His wrister from 35 feet off its mark. 6 seconds to go. Centering pass. Jacobs up in the air, caught and held by Hall with 2 1/5 seconds to go. Here in this second period, just over a half minute left on the 4-on-4. And the big guns are coming on for this last chance for Drexel to increase their lead back to 3. And it will be all for naught as Sambuco fails to control the puck off the Harris face-off win. The score at the end of 2 periods. Drexel University Dragons 2, West Virginia Mountaineers 1. Intermission time on the Delaware Hockey Network. We'll be back in 15.
Think about it. The trash and recycling bins in our homes, even with normal use, are places where harmful bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli can multiply by the thousands. But like anyone, you want to keep your home and your family as healthy as possible. Delaware Trash Can Cleaning can help. They sanitize your trash cans with high-pressure hot water jets that can kill over 99% of the germs and bacteria in your cans in just a few minutes. To schedule your first cleaning, call 302-310-9075 or visit DelawareTrashCanCleaning.com.
There's nothing all-American quite like a good old-fashioned barbecue. Sid's Barbecue and Jerky brings the most tender and flavorful pulled pork, brisket, and barbecue chicken to the tri-state area and is sure to turn your next gathering into a truly all-American event. Visit Sid's on Ridge Road in Claymont, Delaware, or place your next catering order at sidsbbqandjerky.com.
Let's face it, saving for retirement doesn't happen overnight. It takes planning, and Limestone Pension Associates has spent the past 35 years helping small businesses do just that. Limestone specializes in crafting, planning, and handling the day-to-day administration of qualified pension plans tailor-fit to your company's needs and objectives. To schedule a consultation, call 302-479-8817 or visit limestonepension.net to learn more.
It's time for the third period. Let's head back upstairs to James Witherite.
Back in March of 2024, this Drexel squad became the penultimate champions of the Eastern States Collegiate Hockey League, a conference that no longer exists. The Delaware Blue Hens took top billing in that conference in 2025. And now back in the ECHA. Drexel looking to cap their opening weekend with a sweep over West Virginia. They won 10-2 last night. They're up 2-1 through 40 here. And the third period will begin with a half minute of 4-on-4 action as a result of the coincidental roughing minors. Assessed to Shea and Tiberio in the waning stages of the second period. Off we go in the third. James Witherite, Trey Wright joining you from class of 1923 arena. And if you're just joining us here on the Delaware Hockey Network, Drexel traveling right to left in their home off-white kits. West Virginia in their away navy kits moving from left to right from our vantage point. Poole gets the puck back from a Woods touch pass at the blue line to the accelerating Nick Bruno up the left wing boards. He tried to crash the net from the goal line extended. Jared Treat holding his ground. A perfect 26 for 26. And right after the initial save, it was a putback from Nicholas Bruno to get the Mountaineers level with the hometown Dragons. It was an even strength goal. Off the feed from Tommy Woods. I misspoke, not a perfect 26 for 26. Jared Treat was a perfect 23 for 23, give or take, before letting in the power play goal from Thomas Caron. And here the first shot of the third period off the stick of Nick Bruno, good for his first of the year, makes this a tie hockey game. The West Virginia goal, first of the season, scored by number 56, Nicholas Bruno. Assisted by number 9, Tommy Woods. Time of the goal, 35 seconds in the third period. Bruno's first from Woods at 35 seconds. And an icing against the Dragons forces Sambuco back deep into his own zone for the restart of play. Jacobs finds Harris. Harris staying on his feet, trying to stick the puck away from him was Chris Henry. Jimmy Jacobs double teamed after a carom shot behind the net brought play to the near side. Kozitsky leaves this back to Burkon. Stretch pass intended for Anton Kozitsky was intercepted by Henry, but his entry is called back offside. Later today on the Delaware Hockey Network, the Drexel Men's Division II team hosts Delaware. We'll be on the air at 7:30. Face-off scheduled for 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:40 for our friends on the West Coast. Penalty will be coming up against West Virginia. There's possession and control. What do we have for Michael Kaufman? A high stick against Hawley. Delaware Sports Medicine power play time for the Dragons. As Hawley goes off for a high stick, Learn more about Dr. Brad Bly's offerings for athletes of all ages and abilities to promote health and wellness at desportsmed.com. The West Virginia penalty was assessed to number 26, Zach Hawley. 2 minutes for high sticking. Time of the penalty, 2 minutes, 8 seconds in the third period. Hawley, 2 for high sticking at 2:08. Sambuco tried to set up the accelerating Kazitsky on the re-entry. This was thrown back in by Burkhan, but recovered by West Virginia's Christopher Henry. He takes a check from Jacobs. Burkhan holds the point off the feed from Kazitsky. Net front setup, sailed right past Jacobs at the top of the blue paint. And here comes Hartz the other way in a one-on-one against Burkhan. Hartz tried to cross over to his backhand at the top of the slot and get some space around Benny Burkhan to no avail. Hartz pouncing as Kazitsky bobbles the puck. Treat hangs on for the stop and the pause in play with 16:36 to go. In this 2-2 deadlock between the Mountaineers and the Dragons. And 45 seconds remain on this Drexel power play. Mudrick leaves the puck to Surrett. After the face-off win, second power play unit on as well. Manchester tried to set up Mudrick, Steele, and Hutchinson complete this attacking core for the Dragons. Karen takes a heavy hit in the near corner from Surrett. Loose puck corralled by Latham Hutchinson, the former Garnet Valley Jaguar. Walking in up the left boards, but he's double teamed by the pair of Shea and Schmidt. Davio leaves this back to Schmidt. The clearing attempt foiled by Manchester holding the point. Surrett launches the puck in from 50 feet away over the crossbar into the back glass. Mountaineers change. Icing waved off as this puck sails from end to end. Hall steadies. 4.5 minutes have elapsed in the third period of this 2-2 hockey game. It was all Drexel from the beginning, but my, have the tables turned. Tommy Woods goes top shelf to give the Mountaineers their first lead of the weekend. Here it comes again on the 4-1-2 Communications instant replay. Diagonal breakout pass from Nevin Davio. And Tommy Woods records his first goal of the season to put West Virginia on top. West Virginia goal, his first of the season, scored by number 9, Tommy Woods. Assisted by number 19, Nevin Davio. Time of the goal, 4 minutes, 37 seconds of the third period. Woods is first from Davio at 4:37. 3 unanswered goals from these Mountaineers. Turning a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 advantage with 5.5 minutes elapsed in the third period. Glamkowski to Brackett. Brackett, shot from the top of the left circle, stick checked up in the air and out of play. And that brings us to the final 14:21 of regulation. With a listen-first approach that creates a unique solution for your circumstances, the expert team at the law office of Heather A. Long are committed to providing empathetic and compassionate legal representation for individuals who have suffered injuries. To schedule a free consultation, call the law office of Heather A. Long at 302-466-5664. That's LONG. Or visit injuryde.com. Jimmy Jacobs 2-on-1. Shot bothered from astern by Sokol, and it was paddled away neatly by Hall. Trying to hold the point was Tiberio, but his shot was intercepted in net front traffic. Sambuco re-emerging through neutral ice. Cross ice feed to Jacobs after a failed McLaughlin attack for the Mountaineers. Bolte recovers. Harris turns on the forechecking heat behind the net, and he emerges with the puck. This kicked up to Lippy. Shot blocked in traffic. It looked like it caught Sokol's skate, and he heads off to the bench. One-on-one the other way. McLaughlin tried to get around Tiberio. Shot into the pads of Treat, and Lippy cleared the puck out of harm's way. Here's Harris back in up the left wing boards. Drop pass to Jacobs. Holding center point is Surrett. Shooting. Hall with the save. Jacobs with the put away. It's a 3-3 hockey game. Jimmy Jacobs posts up right at the top of the crease. And his rebound put back puts the Drexel Dragons back on level pegging with 13:02 to go. We see it again. We've got Jacobs with the goal from Kazitsky and Surrett, but we're going to give you another look at it here as an icing will send play back down ice. And that's exactly what it was. As Jimmy Jacobs pots the rebound off Hall's leg pads to put Drexel back level with 12.5 minutes to go. That his second of the year. And Surrett has now had a hand in all 3 Drexel goals this afternoon. Drexel Dragons goal. His second of the season. Scored by number 18, Jimmy Jacobs. Assisted by number 28, Anton Kazitsky. And number 25, Hayden Surrett. Time of the goal, 6 minutes, 58 seconds in the third period. Jacobs' second from Kazitsky and Surrett at 6:58. Now 8 minutes in the books here in the third, as the Dragons try to spark a comeback. Baccarin to Manchester. Shot caught and held by Hall for save number 29. Faceoff comes back to his left with 11:46 to go. The Steel, Manchester, Baccarin line. Third forward combination for Drexel staying on. And the Dragons will have to regroup in the neutral zone. This picked up by Manchester, taken away by Kakesi. Cleared back to center, launched in off the back glass by Mikolas from astride the center line. Kakesi tried to find Sokol on a diagonal breakout pass, which ricocheted off the near boards right in front of the Drexel bench. Ultimately to no avail. Good defensive resistance offered by Brady Doyle, who clears out of his own zone. This puck is chased down by Davio. Stretch pass up the middle to McLaughlin. On to Hartz. This goes leading a 2-on-2 zone entry for the Mountaineers. Backhand shot from just inside the dot, squared up for and turned aside by Jared Treat. For save number 28 of the night. Burkhan off the D-to-D feed from Tiberio. Sees his shot from the point well wide. Follow-up chance came from Eisler crashing in to join the play. He couldn't find the net from 25. Baccarin double team below the cage. Tries to put one net front, scrum for the puck. It's kicked out to the top of the circle. And putting it away, Santino Tiberio gives the Dragons the lead again. Tiberio with his first goal as a Dragon. And it's 4-3 Drexel. We see it again on the 4-1-2 Communications instant replay. Eric Eisler with the setup. Protecting that puck in the low slot, kicking it out to the point. And Tiberio with his first Drexel goal. Giving the Dragons the lead back, but that lead was short-lived. As Mason Hartz evens the score. Finding the puck amid a mess of players net front just 15 seconds after. And making this a 4-4 game. The Drexel goal, first of the season. First as a Dragon for number 26, Santino Tiberio. Assisted by number 23, Eric Eisler, and number 7, Pietro Baccarin. Time of the goal, 9 minutes, 38 seconds in the third period. Tiberio's first from Eisler and Baccarin at 9:38. West Virginia goal, third of the season, scored by number 8, Mason Hartz. Time of the goal, 9 minutes, 53 seconds in the third period. Hartz' third at 9:53. Perfectly executed 2-on-1 chance for the Dragons and a cross-slot pass. But Hall crossed to the far post to make the save he needed. Probably the most important of the 30 saves he's made so far today as we work our way through the 11th minute of the third period. We came into this period with Drexel leading 2-1. Now it stands 4 aside as the defensive support lent both of these netminders begins to unravel. A war of attrition in Philadelphia. As Baccarin tried to find Manchester at the top of the slot, Woods intercepted that puck. Manchester gets it back, stretch pass to Baccarin. He's stood up at the dot by Schmidt after gaining the zone. Sokol clears. 8.5 minutes remaining in this 4-4 hockey game from Philly. Interference signaled by Kyle Joseph. And William Mikolas none too happy with that assessment. Pleading his case to the linesperson on his way to the penalty box. Turkey's on the table for the Mountaineers. As they get a power play opportunity in the second half of the third period with momentum arguably in their favor right now. Outscoring Drexel 3-2 so far in what's been a back and forth third period with very little in the way of defensive resistance. Staying with the play, Treat trying to get back on his feet with traffic in front of him. The Davio shot was steered wide. Drexel penalty was assessed to number 27, William Mikolas, 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 11 minutes, 41 seconds in the third period. Mikolas, 2 for interference at 11:41. Hartz, Bruno, hard shot. Treat with the initial save. Puck ends up behind him, and it is in. So the Mountaineers capitalize on the power play. And Tommy Woods has got himself another. Pivotal goal for the Mountaineers. They've taken the lead 5-4. Watching it again. That power play goal at the 12:52 mark. Woods' second of the game. And second of the season as well. Goals additionally from Hartz, Karen, correction from Karen, Bruno, and yes, Hartz. West Virginia goal, second of the season, second of the game, scored by number 9, Tommy Woods. Assisted by number 56, Nicholas Bruno. Time of the power play goal, 12 minutes, 52 seconds. In the third period. Woods' second of the game from Bruno at 12:52, a power play goal. And a slash against William McLaughlin will put the Dragons back on the power play. With 5:45 to go. And West Virginia is going to take their timeout. The West Virginia penalty was assessed to number 88, William McLaughlin. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 14 minutes, 15 seconds in the third period. McLaughlin, 2 for slashing at 14:15. Timeout, West Virginia. A reminder that coming up later this evening on the Delaware Hockey Network, brought to you by Heather A. Long, the second half of our Philadelphia doubleheader, as the Drexel Men's Division II side hosts Delaware. Game time 7:40 p.m. We'll be on the air at the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour. Both the Dragons and the Blue Hens looking to turn around after suffering defeat on Friday. Drexel to St. Joe's, Delaware to Towson. One of those teams, anyway, will be successful in righting the ship. And we'll have the Drexel Division II Dragons back on the Delaware Hockey Network airwaves a few other times through the course of the season, and we'll get you that full schedule during the second half of our doubleheader today. Delaware Sports Medicine Power Play starting for the Dragons. DESportsmed.com, the place to go to learn more about Dr. Brad Bly's offerings for athletes of all ages and abilities. Long clear right off the draw. Burkhan, Jacobs, Kazitsky, Sambuco, and Harris. The 5 on for the Dragons. Time running out. They've got 5:25 to go. And their domination over these Mountaineers on Friday night, but a distant memory, as for much of this third period, they've had to play catch-up. Kazitsky pitchforking for the puck. Jacobs tries to trap it at the wall. Schmidt could not clear. Burkhan held the point. It comes back to Benny Burkhan. Behind his back to Kazitsky. Crossing to the slot was Jacobs. That centering pass broken up by Cooper Brackett. Brackett one-on-one against Burkhan. He gets the shot away from the dot. Goes careening into the corner boards after the release. Treat made the save. Brackett slow to his feet to get back, and he stays with the play. As a fast break attempt from Harris was canceled out by Zach Hall's netminding. Here's Jacobs back in, up the left wall to reestablish attacking position for the Dragons, but he attracted a crowd along the near dashers. Manchester, shot from Surrett, blocked away by Hall. Puck was loose momentarily, nobody home for the rebound putback chance. 25 seconds to go on this man advantage. 4 and change remaining in regulation, and play is whistled to a halt. New forward line coming on. Mudrick, Steele, and Hutchinson. And they preserve the momentum off the attacking zone draw. Here's Hutchinson a second time. His first shot went into the corner glass, so did his second after stepping up closer. Recovering is Surrett. 3:45 to go. Surrett walking in. Tried to jam the puck past Hall to no avail. Mountaineers clear. Treat steps way out of the crease to bat the puck back into the neutral zone. There was an opportunity for Woods heading off for a change to shoot it nearly an open net, but he couldn't. That being said, the Mountaineers are back to full strength inside the final 200. Mudrick fanned on the puck from the right dot. Glamkowski clears off his backhand. This ends up back at the Drexel blue line where recovering is William Mikolas. 3 minutes to go. Mikolas pickpocketed by Sokol. His shot ends up in the glove of Jared Treat, who holds for a pause with 2:58 to go. Face off to the right of Jared Treat. West Virginia outscoring the Drexel Dragons 4-2 here in the third period. After the first 100 minutes of hockey this weekend went Drexel's way by a combined 12-3. .240 remaining, and Chris Henry cleared the zone, but he couldn't find Glamkowski. That pass was intercepted by Matty Harris. Harris drove into the far corner. Again, the Mountaineers clear. Doyle couldn't get past Red. Caden Glamkowski in up the right wing boards. Tried to jam the puck past Treat, who squares for the save. Sambuco controls the puck. Harris took a little too much time trying to exit the zone. Glamkowski stole the puck from him, but the pass back to Glamkowski from Brackett in the corner didn't connect. Doyle to Mikolas. Up ice, this goes to Evan Mudrick. He takes a check from Woods upon gaining the West Virginia zone and is separated from the puck. Final 105 seconds. Mudrick turning and shooting from the right point, well wide. Kazitsky caroms the puck down low to Burkhan. Back it comes to Mudrick in the corner. Played up the near side from below the goal, and this is shoveled clear by Tommy Woods. West Virginia onside on the entry, And the shot from Dylan Shea is caught and held by Jared Treat for a pause in the action with 84 seconds to go. Shea and Burkhan jawing at each other after the whistle. Linespeople Josh Sklar and Bob Edwards doing well to keep the peace. And we're going to stay 5 aside as the faceoff comes to the right of Jared Treat with 1:24 to go in regulation. Burkhan could not clear. Holding the point was Kakesi. Tiberio took the puck away and worked it up the left boards to Steele. Goalie is off, empty net for Drexel. 1 minute remaining in the period, 1 minute. So the extra attacker is on. And Sambuco, looking for space in the far corner, takes a lazy check from Schmidt into the corner boards. Burkhan across the line. Tiberio centering pass. Kazitsky fanned on the puck. Right into the hands of McLaughlin it goes. One-on-one. McLaughlin dekes his way past Burkhan but lost the puck. There's an open net waiting for Sokol and he misses it. And Ben Burkhan ends up knocking the net off its moorings with a half a minute to go. As he lost his footing, he just barreled into that far post and Treat's going to come back with the face-off to the left of that empty net. We should say that once empty net, as Treat indeed comes back. So down to the final 20 from class of 1923 arena. And in blue-collar, workmanlike fashion, the West Virginia Mountaineers trying to manufacture a split for the weekend. One last chance for the Dragons to prolong this game, but Kazitsky blew a tire off the cross-ice feed. Kazitsky back on his feet. Last second, the horn sounds, and that will do it. Today's final score, West Virginia Mountaineers 5. Drexel University Dragons 4. Final shots on goal, West Virginia 37, Drexel 38. The time-honored tradition of the center ice handshake cue. As West Virginia battles mightily to earn a weekend split with the Drexel Dragons. Fans, it's time for the Sid's Barbecue and Jerky 3 stars of the game. Today's third star with the game tying goal for West Virginia, number 8, Mason Hartz. The number 2 star with a goal and 2 assists for Drexel, number 25, Hayden Surratt. And the number 1 star of the game with 2 goals and an assist for West Virginia, including the game-winning goal, number 9, Tommy Woods. So that will do it for the first half of our Saturday doubleheader from class of 1923 arena. Tommy Woods with 2 tallies. Giving the Mountaineers the lead, and then putting a bow on it in the end. making this a 5-4 decision in favor of West Virginia. A look back at those closing highlights as we thank the crew, our videographer, assistant producer Trey Wright. Our co-executive producer is Molly Jo Rosen. Our assistant producer is Broadway Joe Sindoni. This has been James Witherite joining you from Class of 1923 Arena. The final score, West Virginia 5, Drexel 4. The Delaware Hockey Network is a copyrighted production of 412 Communications, LLC, and we will be back at 7:30, 2 hours from now, to bring you the second half of our twin bill as the Drexel Division II men take on Delaware, with game time listed at 7:40. Until then, James Witherite signing off from Class of 23. We'll see you in a couple hours back here on the Delaware Hockey Network.